Every night I smell him, oak and grain. His hands always felt like the inside of a barrel, emptiness and something stolen. My father, Radcliffe Ritchie, master distiller, built an empire from barley and wheat. The man could see the proof of the whiskey just by looking at it.
I would give all my fame for a pot of ale and safety. William Shakespeare. Half pint? This is 100 proof.
What does that mean, Daddy?
Taste it. Go ahead and taste it.
Ew.
Must be nice. Getting the keys to the kingdom.
A kingdom that killed a king is no kingdom at all.
Who said that?
Raina Ritchie, 2018.
Oh my God. Daddy's little half pint. Always getting everything you ever wanted.
Jealousy isn't whiskey, Jackie. It's poison that doesn't taste good. I think you've had enough.
What makes you so special?
Never touch me again.
Raina. Don't walk out on me.
Watch me.
Listen, I'm sorry. I know. It's just
Jackie,
been so...
stop. I'm tired of all of this.
Dad left one note with your name on it. Not mine, yours. You won't even tell me what it says inside.
But it doesn't matter.
Why?
Because no amount of apologies will ever make up for what he did to me.
Daddy?
Go back to bed, half pint.
Raina, we've been through this. It never happened.
Why do you just keep insisting that all of this is just jumbled up in my head?
Because Dad, I know him, and he would never do that. Your therapist has explained this to you. I believe something bad happened to you, honey. I do. But I think you have it all messed up in your head.
Do you really believe that?
Yes.
Okay, Jackie, you're right. It's just something that's messed up in my head.
Okay. Now can we please just go back inside?
Yeah. His hands always felt like the inside of a barrel. Emptiness and something stolen.
I can't carry anymore. But waiting for somebody else to carry me. There's nothing that's there for me at my door. All the people I know aren't who they used to be. And if I try to change my life one more day, there would be nobody else to save. And I can't change into a person I don't wanna be. So, oh, it's Saturday night.
We were just a family of 4. We had 2 sons, and we felt like we were done having children. When the boys were 8 and 6 years old, I had a spiritual experience, a pretty powerful one, in which I was given the knowledge that there was going to be a little girl that came into our family, and that her name was going to be Ella.
So Emily came to me and said that we needed to have a little girl named Ella after an experience that she'd had, and I was 100% against it. During that week after she told me that, I worked on 3 different people's homes that had all adopted children. The 3rd person actually ran an adoption agency, and I explained to them what had happened, and she told me it'd be the best thing that we ever did. And so that's when I decided that I don't know if I was all in, but I was willing to explore it. So the first adoption that we had lined up was a private adoption, not through an agency or through foster care. And that was something that we felt like we'd just fallen into the right place for, and that we were lucky that it was there. And then just a couple of weeks before the due date, we found out that there was a stillborn. At that point, that was pretty devastating. I didn't know exactly why we were doing this, if we were doing the right thing, putting ourselves through that kind of stress and anxiety. We received a phone call on Thanksgiving that a little girl had been born, and we needed to pick her up the next day, that the mother had failed a drug test at the hospital and they were removing the child from her immediately. We went and picked her up and brought her home. We knew pretty quickly that there was going to be family that was going to be coming forward to adopt her.
Gracie stayed with us for 12 days. She was eventually adopted by her cousin. And from what I understand, she's in a really good situation and is doing well. When Gracie left, it was really hard for all of us. We were sad, we were disappointed. Foster care is such a mix of emotions, because especially if you're a family that wants to adopt, you are cheering on these birth parents and you want them to do well, and your goal is reunification with the birth parents. That's your official goal, that's your responsibility and your role as foster families. But on the other side of it is that you get very attached and invested in these children, and it happens really quickly. In our case, it happened really quickly. And so when they leave, it's heart-wrenching. A little bit after New Year's, we got another call. This little baby was under 4 pounds. She was 3'11". She was just teeny. She was about 4 weeks early. They asked us if we wanted to take her, and we said yes. We were so excited, and we went and met her at the hospital. She was still in the hospital. We rocked her, and I felt like she was the one, but I pushed it aside pretty quickly, because I understood what my job there was to support the birth mother. The nurse said, "Do you want to go meet her mother?" And we said, "Well, yes, we do." We met her and talked with her, and learned a little bit about her. And I had this overwhelming feeling when I met her that I needed to serve and love this woman the best I could. And that was something that carried us through the next 14 months. So the caseworker decided that it was time for the trial home placement.
That day was hard. We knew it was coming. We knew the exact time that we were going to drop her off. Both the boys had a chance that day to play with her and got them out of school early so they could do the things with her that they normally would. Then we left that night at 7:45, and both the boys were in tears, crying, because they knew that she was their little sister and we were taking her away. When we got to the birth mom's apartment, everything went well inside the apartment. And when we got outside the apartment, got back in the car, Emily broke down and started crying.
It was just so hard. And yet we were so proud and happy for her birth mother. It was just crazy. So we left her and went home and consoled our boys. They were heartbroken. About a week later, I got a call on a Sunday morning from her birth mother saying that she was sick. We went to the clinic, but he just said, you know, it was just the standard, well, you have a cold, so rest and fluids, that kind of a thing. And the next day, the caseworker called me on Monday and she said, okay, I need to hear what the story again of what exactly happened. I don't feel right about this, so I'm gonna do some digging. And then the following evening on Tuesday night, she called. Birth mother had made some choices that put the trial home placement in jeopardy, and that would it be okay if they brought the baby back home, back to us within the hour? And it was a resounding yes from us. We were all so excited, and the caseworker brought her to the front door, and we opened the door, and the baby practically jumped into Logan's arms, and she just kept looking at us all and saying, hi, hi, hi.
And the caseworker said, we are done. We are moving towards adoption, and wanted both Emily and I at drug court the very next morning.
I love her kind heart. She's
always aware of everybody else around her, especially if someone is sad or hurt. She's very concerned and will go to help them.
She's very generous and very service-minded. She likes to help.
She likes to bring her dad drinks when he's watching football.
What I love about my family is my brothers play with me, and my mom cooks dinner, and my dad watches football.
Hi! Sit down, please. Sit down. Hey, what's your name? That's right. How old are you? No, how old are you? Tell mommy how old you are. No, that's your name. How old are you? I love you too. 2, that's right. Can you sit down? There, I can see you better if you sit down. Else, hey. Will you blow kisses? Oh, thank you. You do again? Oh, that's a pretty song. Will you sing more songs? little kiss. More kiss. Oh, thank you.
I kind of just stumbled into yoga because I tried a group class at college, and it seemed cool, you know, there seemed like a cool ambiance about it. I just walked in and I loved it. I mean, I was yoga high from day one. I was absolutely addicted. And then a couple of years into my practice, a fairly traumatic life experience happened, and yoga became the rock of my life. In a lot of ways, if I had 1 hour where I just had to show up for myself and breathe and move, and I didn't think about anything else except for being there and being fully present and mindful in that hour, then I could go throughout the rest of my day and I could conquer the things that I needed to. Yoga was really beneficial for my physical health and strength, absolutely. I've gotten really strong from yoga, but it also has done so much for my mental strength, because it teaches you to be comfortable and calm and cultivate this equanimous mind in uncomfortable postures and situations. It doesn't come naturally, I think, to anyone. And you're in these really weird positions and you learn to be comfortable and you learn to get good at it, and you learn to cultivate a calm mind even when your body is shaking. And that is why I love yoga and have a passion for yoga and think everyone should do it.
The year was 1987. In the height of Madonna, Rubik's Cubes, and after-school specials, there was only one place in that lousy town to disappear: Flynn's. Flynn's wasn't like anywhere else. When you were there, it didn't matter where you were going in life or what you were doing next. All that mattered was you, the screen, and beating the highest score.
Mind if we close it up early tonight?
Hey, not a lot of business around here.
You know, if you would have told me 5 years ago there was a company called Nintendo was going to come out and put a little box in everybody's home and try to put me out of business, I'd have called you crazy. Damn, Nintendo's doing it to me right now.
Same time tomorrow?
Same time tomorrow.
Flynn's hadn't changed. But maybe the town had.
Mr. Doherty, I've been thinking, maybe we could start a fundraiser, make some flyers or something, just try and save the arcade.
Yeah, something like that could work.
Anything at this point.
I mean, anything helps, right?
Yeah. You maybe have a pen or some paper I could borrow?
Let's see what I can get for you. Knock yourself out, do your worst.
Donate to save the arcade.
Sorry, man, I can't.
Donate to save the arcade? Save the arcade.
No, thank you.
Somebody beat my high score?
Hey, Chris.
Hi, Toph.
Hey, guys.
How are the flyers going?
It's fine, I guess. I mean, most of them are gone, but I don't know.
You know what, bud? It's been a long time coming, but I think it's time we let this place go.
Yeah, maybe.
It's the weekend anyway, bud. Hey, Chris. Can't win if you don't play, buddy.
How are you holding up so far?
Well, other than my failing attempt to save the arcade, fantastic.
Have you tried talking to your brother?
Why would I do that?
Doesn't he raise money for a living or something?
Yeah, for some big construction company or something like that.
So maybe you should ask him.
Maybe. Hey, Andrew, are you home?
Yeah, Toph, I'm in the living room.
Did you hear about Flynn's?
That's Mr. Doherty's place, right?
Yeah, he's closing down. And about that, I was thinking maybe you could work out some sort of donation so he wouldn't have to shut down.
Toph, I don't know if the company can do something that big.
Can you just check? Just use it as some sort of tax write-off. I mean, Flynn's is where we spend all our time as kids. It's where I met Liz. It's where Mom and Dad took us before.
See what I can do, but no promises.
Thanks, Andrew.
Hey, Chris. Wade never gives up. I'll do my best.
What is this?
Let's just call it a generous donation from a wealthy benefactor.
Are you serious?
Don't sweat it, Toph. My company is very invested in Flynn's. We'd hate to see it fall into the wrong hands. I think you should be the one to deliver it to Mr. Doherty.
Yeah, I'm gonna go right now. He's gonna be so happy.
Make sure he gets all of it.
Mr. Doherty!
Hey, Chris, what's up?
We can save the arcade with this.
You're a tough kid, Chris. Remember that. You're gonna go far in this world. Thank your brother for me, would you?
I will. That is a total lie. He thinks we saved the arcade. Yeah, I had him take over the check and a copy of Mr. Doherty's contract. We can begin plans for demolition tomorrow. Okay, I'll mail out the paperwork today.
If the danger all lies between heaven and hell, when I close my eyes I'm not falling asleep. I am opening drawers, I am sifting through papers. Please stay a while, I'm not falling asleep, I'm not falling asleep, I'm not falling asleep. Please stay a while, I'm not falling asleep, I'm not falling asleep, I'm not falling asleep. When will I ever be safe from myself if the danger all lies between heaven and hell? When I close my eyes I'm not falling asleep, I'm not falling asleep, I'm not falling asleep, I'm not falling asleep, I'm not
punk rock generally, you know, is loud, fast, and obnoxious and pissed off, you know?
It's definitely not the way you look, man. It's not SLC punk, you know? Like,
it used to be.
It used to be very leather jackets and studs, and now everybody's grown up and wearing grown-up clothes and have grown-up jobs.
I would assume that, to me, that it's just a second home.
People think that you have to dress in a vest and patches to be punk, but you really don't have to. Like, it's really just a mindset.
It's punk to have no idea about punk.
Yeah.
Image first, and then it was like image plus the heavy music that I already liked. It was just a combination. It's like something I fell into pretty easily.
Here's the thing about the Salt Lake punk scene is that a lot of people will come in here and from the outside maybe be very opinionated about it just because the state we're from. The people are what make it amazing. You know, there's so many good people that it makes you want to stay.
Well, I mean, Salt Lake totally has a punk scene. It totally has, like, I've been going to shows for a really long time.
In my opinion, it's really good for how small it is. It's intense. You know, the people here are really into it. I've been to a lot of places around the country, and there's some states where there's no scene at all. And if you're into punk rock, you're like by yourself, you know? And a lot of people from scenes that are pretty good come here and they're like, man, Salt Lake is kicking, you know? And it's always been pretty good. It comes and goes. There's waves, you know, there's waves where it lulls and there's not a lot of stuff going on. But the few small people that are here for good.
I mean, we can walk into a place and see somebody we haven't seen in a long time, you know? And it's like the conversation picked up right where I left off, you know, versus, you know, you see somebody that you went to junior high with, high school, college, whatever you accomplished, you see people and you see them, but you don't ever go talk to them. And in the punk rock community, that's not even a freaking option. You see somebody from across the bar, you see somebody walking down the road, you run out of the bar, you see somebody, you know, at a local show, anywhere you go, and you always make sure you make it a point to tell that person, hey man, how you been? You know, is everything good? Everything great? You know, it's just community, it's family.
You know, we had these all ages venues that we were able to go to see these bands when we were kids, and then we had all ages venues that we could play at and introduce music to the younger scene and give them an environment to come play at. And it's been 5 years since Mojo's closed down, and all of a sudden, like, not only do these kids not have a place to go jump in a pit and experience all this, but we've got so many amazing artists in the area, these young kids that don't have a place to go play.
Venues are dying a little bit, but you know, maybe one of us will get a house someday and then open up a new kind of house venue.
So this concert, we're here at Funk and Dive in Ogden, and this concert is a benefit for the co-op that's opening. It's a new communist-themed all-ages venue.
I feel like Utah, the local music scene here, has so much talent to offer, and Ogden needs an all-ages venue, a place where kids that are under 21 can go to nurture their talents.
There is definitely a crowd for the really aggressive, the really acquired taste music. There's a crowd for it out there, and we'd like to perform for those people, but it's like we need exposure to be able to perform to those people, like for them to even know that we exist.
Pick up an instrument. If you fucking have a doubt in your mind that you're fucking...
That's what we did. Like
yeah,
we
you know, if you're
drum
thinking
set
that you
and
can't
guitar.
do it, you can definitely do it. Doesn't matter how many years you suck. Just fucking do it.
Hey, I know a shortcut. Follow me. Hey, wait up, Jason. Jace, get off the train! Get the train coming!
Something wrong? Grace. Grace.
You don't have to yell, I can hear you, you know.
I've been calling your name. Do you want me to drive?
Now you know what I want.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing.
What is this about?
What the hell were you thinking? Having us move here next to the train tracks? You knew exactly what happened to me when I was 8. It's like you don't even care.
I do care. It's not like we're right next to the tracks.
Oh, and you think that makes a difference? How do you think it makes me feel having to cross those tracks on a daily basis? You have no idea.
I know, but at least I'm trying.
Yes, you did even have us move here.
We don't have a lot of money. We needed a place for the kids, and it was a good deal.
Gee, I wonder why.
I'm sorry. I thought you'd be happy here.
You've done some crazy shit in the past, but this is icing on the cake. Does everything have to be about money with you? Apparently it is. I guess it's all worth it to you.
Worth what?
Putting your family at risk.
What risk? Lots of people live by train tracks and nothing ever happens. What happened to you was horrible, but doesn't mean it's going to happen to our kids.
That doesn't mean it won't happen either.
I would never want to put our kids in danger. I guess I just wasn't thinking. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too.
What do you want to do, and we'll do it.
I want to overcome this fear. Will you help me?
You guys might remember me from my my old band, X, Sleeping Tongues X. Started a YouTube channel. It's called Chandler and Wine. I have a smoking hot girlfriend. Her name's Ashley. We've been together for 6 years now.
Hi, I'm Ashley Vallejos.
Ashley got me a gig.
Sweet dude, where's it at?
It's at this open mic called Feeling and Such.
I love Chandler's music, and I love Chandler. But do I believe he's the next Post Malone? Hell no.
Hell yeah. Thanks, babe.
What's up? I'm Kyle. I own Kyle's Vape Shop. I'm currently #1 in the Valley, mostly because of our specialty juices. Spent days in the lab creating them. Hey, can you grab that Dragon's Breath? It's on the bottom shelf.
Where's it at, bro?
Further. It just didn't really click. Kind of led to a lot of confusion. Probably explains why I'm still a virgin.
How's it going, brothers and sisters? I'm Chad. I'm almost a personal trainer. I've been taking classes on Be Your Best Self. You could almost say I'm a walking advertisement.
I had this new awesome pre-workout, and I could just feel my thighs growing.
Oh, I mean, you ever thought about entering the lifting competition?
I'm participating in a bodybuilding competition next month, the Swole Bro Classic.
Pretty good singer. Right?
Hey, can I vape in here?
Okay, dude. Whatever.
So I'm Austin. I'm working on becoming a professional cloud chaser. I'm just waiting to find the one, you know? I'm waiting for my cloud goddess, my vape queen, my destiny.
Yeah, what's her name?
Destiny? You're my destiny.
Like a real influencer. Yeah?
I begged him for years to hire me, so I don't owe that guy anything, you know?
Get away!
Nautical stars are lame, and Richard's a tool.
Are you supposed to be my manager? Aren't you supposed to try to get me exposure? My balls are freezing.
My name's Preston Miller. I'm an outdoorsy love fun cut. My name's Preston Miller. I'm a fun-loving, outdoorsy type of guy. I love my friends. I love playing baseball. I love fly fishing. I love the social atmosphere. Yeah, I love people. I think the reason why I decided to go back to school when my mom had cancer was because I'm already so far along, and she continually wanted me to continue going to school. Like, she always told me, like, keep going, as well as my dad, and having that support group with baseball and my friends and all those extra things on the side continue to help me continue. I think the biggest challenge is, I mean, obviously she was already dying, but when she finally passed, that was the biggest challenge. And not having that motherly figure in the house and her spirit not being there when you get home, yeah, it's debilitating. It's the worst feeling you could possibly imagine. Yeah, the biggest struggle was definitely keeping her going and being at her side and her aid, and seeing her just drastically change. That's obviously the biggest struggle, because you never want to see your loved one suffer that much pain. And when my mom had her stroke, you can only do so much, and we did all the tests that we could do, but we knew that that was it, and we could give her as much comfort as possible, keeping her with her pills and being at her aid, but you only can do so much, and it's like climbing a mountain and taking 3 steps but still being pushed back 5, and then it's all over. You have to tell the people that are around you the most that you love them, and make sure you ask them, like, hey, have I told you how much I loved you today? And making it a competition to tell somebody how much you love them is, they remember that, and people remember that. And having the support of every individual that came into our lives, without them, it would absolutely be it would even be a bigger struggle, because you have nowhere to turn, and that support isn't there. There's no need to continue life. I mean, you don't grasp the meaning of life without your loved ones around you. Bro, I hate interviews.
You'll just jump out.
I hate interviews, man. I'm so much better when I don't have pressure on me. You guys should have been there when I talked at my mom's funeral. I wanted to uplift people about my mom, and there was a ton of people,
And I remember saying, like, you know, my mom had like tons of quirky stuff, but she's like, and some of the stuff was so, it could drive you nuts. Like, I remember my dad going to the grocery store, and back when it was like just pagers, we didn't have cell phones. And my dad was like, it was like a Sunday run, like we had family coming over, and my mom needed to get a hold of him. So she kept paging him and kept paging him, and he was ignoring her. And it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna just go to the nearest payphone and call. So my dad's going through the grocery store getting stuff, and all of a sudden here, Gary Miller, can you come to the front of the store? Your wife's on the line. Gary Miller, come to the front of the store. My dad definitely didn't forget the milk that day. So, lesson learned. Enjoy the little quirk parents do. Because you just never know when it's over. She'd always joke. She'd be like, I held you for 9 months. You would go and give anything to hear that again. Sucks. My dad sent me a text today at like 2 in the afternoon. He was like, hey, son. I'm like, yeah, Dad. He's like, have I told you how much I love you today? I'm like, no, I'm glad you did. Have I told you how much I love you? He's like, no. I'm like, well, I did. I love you, gents.
Love you too, big guy.
You guys are good men.
I can hear you from here. Your voice is very clear. Words rain down on me like a heartbeat. What was once black and white has now turned gray. What was lost in the night, well, it turned up today. I think I can say there is not enough room, and I'm dreading the day ends coming soon. Lost a minute of time, lasted for a whole life. Some things I regret, but you I'll never forget.
This is my puppy Zet. He is named after a kayak manufacturer because me and my family love to kayak, and it's been kind of a tradition because with our other dog he was named after a kayak as well. So he's about 6 months old, but he was a stray in New Mexico, so we're not really sure the exact day he was born. In New Mexico they have a lot of high kill shelters, which means that they have so many dogs that they can't keep a bunch of them, so we were really lucky to get him, and he's such a cutie. He loves to chew his toys, and his favorite one is a rubber pig because it makes a really obnoxious noise, but that's his favorite. And he obviously likes to chew his bone, and he likes to steal my shoes out of my room and chew the shoelaces off of them. He loves to play fetch, even though he doesn't really bring the ball back sometimes. He still loves to play. So, how's we do that? Keep going. Can you delete this?
When people think about the state of Utah, a few things may come to mind. Beehives, mountains, national parks, fry sauce, and Mormons. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints was brought to Utah by Brigham Young in 1848 after being ran out of Illinois by mobs. Utah was granted statehood in 1896, and by then the church had more than 250,000 members, most of which lived in Utah. Today, Utah is home to more than 2 million LDS members, which makes up about a third of the Utah population. Despite the state's prominent religious overtones, Utah's tattoo community is quite large. There are more than 30 tattoo shops in Salt Lake and surrounding areas, and Salt Lake City hosts one of the biggest tattoo conventions yearly.
I'm Nick Phillips, owner of Loyalty Tattoos. Traveling around and I guess just traveling in general, not even necessarily working, but when I say Utah, people either say, oh, you're Mormon, or they ask if that's the place where the people send all the guys in suits to knock on your door, or they'll usually know the Utah Jazz, and that's really about the only thing. But I mean, it's just that distinctive a culture that, I mean, anywhere you go, you know, all through Europe, even when I went to Asia, there was people that were in Utah, and they're like, Utah, and they're like, oh, Mormon. It's like, yeah, that's where I'm from. So Utah has, I'd say by far more visible tattoos than most places I do. Conventions I work, just because I feel like people want to stand out. You know, they want to show people that they're different, or that they aren't, I mean, essentially Mormon, you know, like at a glance you can look at him and be like, oh, he's not. You know, even like doing the convention when you have other tattooers come here and they'll just be like, yeah, I do more hand and neck or tattoos than anywhere in the United States at least. But I personally think that that's why, you know, it's just that there's such like a bubble here that everybody's kind of on the extremes, just to kind of stand out.
I think a lot of people have, you know, preconceived notions about what somebody from Utah is or is not, and you know, and for someone who is not a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I could see that as a possible motivation, is to try to, you know, make it abundantly clear, you know, I have nothing to do with, you know, with that faith.
I think any area that you have repression is going to bring out
people on another level. So you're either on this team or this team, and on this team, you know, is tattooed and listens to different music than Mormons and drinks and enjoys, but you still have that community that comes together and kind of supports each other, which is awesome to see.
Growing up in Utah, tattooing, when I got into tattooing, there was only a handful of shops, like 4 or 5 shops in the whole state. And it was definitely the outcast of society, you know, only troublemakers got tattooed. And growing up in Utah Mormon, my family's Mormon, LDS, it always was more frowned upon or a disgrace, you know, that I would even do something, even though of most of my other cousins, I'm the more successful one of being able to do my own business, and then just a connection of more that you're pushed away just for a tattoo. Not the look at the fact that I have an ability to do art and make a lot of people happy and make a good living at it and enjoy it. It's more just, oh, you're just an outcast. We don't want to talk to you. We don't, you know, no association. This was mid-90s and late 90s, where it had multiple missionaries come in on their P-day, on their off day, and actually get tattooed, some sort of, usually a CTR or something, to do with the religion, but just their little share of it. And then it seemed like when the popularity of tattoo kind of exploded once it became on TV, and then everybody sees it, and then everybody sees it in a different light, that all of a sudden everybody's getting tattooed, and not just little tattoos. This was kind of it went from just picking a popper off the wall to everybody wants a half sleeve or full sleeve. It was just a big boom. And then I think the church recognized that how many kids were getting heavily tattooed, and then it was at that point that they came forward and, you know, really spoke on it to discourage anybody from getting tattooed.
So I was, you know, my parents have been members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints for their whole lives, and the same is true for me. You know, I grew up, you know, in the church, and we were taught, you know, as children that, you know, that you shouldn't alter your bodies, you know, with tattoos. There didn't seem to be as, you know, a heavy emphasis on not doing that until probably you know, somewhere around the mid-90s. The current prophet of the church would have been President Gordon B. Hinckley. In one of his messages, I remember he specifically mentioned, you know, that we shouldn't tattoo our bodies. So I think that had something of an effect.
Now comes the craze of tattooing one's body. I cannot understand why any young man or young woman, for that matter, would wish to undergo the painful process of disfiguring the skin with various multicolored representations of people, animals, and various symbols. With tattoos, the process is permanent, unless there's another painful and costly undertaking to remove it. Fathers, caution your sons against having their bodies tattooed. They may resist your talk now, but the time will come when they will thank you. A tattoo is graffiti on the temple of the body. Likewise, the piercing of the body from multiple rings in the ears, in the nose, even in the tongue. Can they possibly think that is beautiful? The First Presidency and Quorum of the 12 have declared that we discourage tattoos and also the piercing of the body for other than medical purposes. We do not, however, take any position on the minimal piercing of the ears by women for one pair of earrings. One pair.
With Mormon or LDS families, they don't want to go against their family or against the church, but they don't want to have any part of it, so they're not like necessarily doing other bad habits, smoking cigarettes or drinking, where a tattoo was a kind of an easy outlet, you know, that they could go sneak one and have it, and it was just kind of their rite of passage that, well, I'm told not to, so I'm going to go do it.
I used to get that asked a lot
more than I do now. But that question does tend to come up every once in a while, is, do you regret getting your tattoos? And for me, that's a very it's a very simple question with a very complicated answer. I know what I've been taught, about keeping my body, clean, pure, unaltered, etc. At the same time, I kind of like who I am, and I like where I am in my life, and I recognize the fact that who I am today is the sum total of the life decisions that I've made. Not all of them have been good or positive, but that notwithstanding, every major life decision I've made has kind of led me to where I am here. So, so it's for me, it's not as simple as, do I regret my tattoos, because they are a part of the journey that has made me who I am today. And I'm certainly not perfect. My wife could go on and on, explaining a lot, my laundry list of character flaws and such. But taken as a whole, I kind of like how I've turned out so far.
Women's rights matter. I'm Skylar. And I'm Brett. And we're here on the street asking Weber State students about the real important issues at Weber State, such as pizza or nachos? Neither. Oh, neither. That's a good one. Okay, great. Hi, dog or cat?
Dog.
Correct. That was the right answer. Thank you so much. Bye. Excuse me. Who is the best dog?
My own.
Balto. It's Balto! Oh, it's Balto! Excuse me, sir. Hi. Name a celebrity you hate. Hurry, one you hate.
Let's go with Hillary Clinton.
Is that a celebrity? Candidate for president? You're kidding me. We're an inclusive campus. We are. Hi, excuse me, hi.
Okay, I'm not sure, but I'll be...
Great.
I'll come in.
Great, pizza or nachos?
Nachos, 100%.
Nachos. That's wrong. It's wrong! I don't make the rules, but it was air. It was air! Air's good for you, Sydney! Oh my god! Hi, who's weirder, Tom Cruise or John Travolta?
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise? Correct. That was the right answer! Congratulations! See, I told you she was smart! She was studying! Hello! Hi, what is the best Harry Potter movie?
The first one.
It's the Fifth Order of the Phoenix. It was the fifth one! Can't get anything right. There's not enough people on the street. Okay. Can you commit to getting more streets? Yeah, I can do that. More streets. Streets will happen. Excuse me? She looked at me. We made eye contact. Excuse me? So much running. Hi. She rejected, so it's on you. Sandals or flip-flops?
Flip-flops.
Flip-flops are correct. Correct answer, just not on rides at Lagoon. It's dangerous. Oh, good. Time Marshal. So important. What's the best bird?
Red-tailed hawk.
It was a peacock. Oh, it was a peacock! Okay, this next question is very, very politically charged. I'm ready. Is the Earth flat? No. Hi. I have a very important question for you.
Okay.
Is the Earth flat?
No.
Correct. That was the right answer. I'm so proud of you. Yay! Everyone's so smart. There's not enough people on these streets. Oh, we're saving the planet. Carry water bottle at all times. Hydrate or dihydrate, am I right? That one. Excuse me. Excuse me. Hi. Hi. Name a woman. A woman.
Rio Kukui.
Who?
Rio Kukui.
Who is that?
Author of Delicious in Dungeon, a manga.
Oh. Heard that. Yeah. A woman. Women are important. Thank you. Yeah. Hi. So that was Skylar on the street. Stay tuned for me to interview Brett. It'll be less cardio. Less, please. Bye. Bye.
Purple was your favorite color, you had it on your sheets. You will never find someone like me. I liked you, I didn't have to like you. When we found each other, it was like a movie. We locked our eyes, had our hearts in sync. I loved you, I didn't have to love you. Did all of the memories we shared together suddenly mean nothing to you? Did they, did they, did they, did they? See, I wonder about you, I think of it all, about all of the times that we shared through the phone. I wake up without you, now I am alone. I loved you, girl, you were my world. In August, in August, in August, oh, oh, in August, in August, in August, oh, oh. When I met you in the summer, we were like a couple teens. You gave your life, you were a vivid dream. Was I naughty? No. You took away the thunder, you took away the rain. Now I'm standing here with peace I cannot regain. I am lost, it's your loss. I still have your makeup on my sweater. I would wash it, but I can't seem to find the time. Where did we go? How did you know? Just like the sky, diamonds were in your eyes. I realized that our time flew by. I theorized you'll find another guy, but I just can't help but wonder about you and think of it all. See, I wake up without you, now I am alone. Tell me, why'd we take hundreds of photos? Why'd we have hundreds of phone calls? Why did we let ourselves get lost in something that would never be? In August, in August, in August, in August, in August,
You seem tired. Is everything okay?
The work is just stressing me out. It's nothing.
Anything I can do to help?
You could give me an answer. When are you gonna let me move in with you?
Soon. I just need a little bit of time to make room for all of your crap.
Hey, sweetheart. What are you doing here, alone by yourself? You need a ride?
Yeah, that would be great. Nice jacket.
Thank you.
You're pretty brave picking somebody up in the middle of nowhere.
What I can say, I'm just a helpful guy.
Hey babe, what's up?
Hey, I'll be a little late picking you up for dinner.
That's okay. I just got a new car. I'll meet you over there.
That was amazing. What's the special occasion?
You just seem stressed lately. I just wanted to do something nice for you.
Well, don't worry about me. Let's talk about you.
I actually feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
I didn't know that you were stressed.
No, I meant I cleared up a space for you.
Really? Well, that's great news. I didn't. I'm sorry, can you get me a water?
Let's play 20 questions. For the sake of time, I'll just pretend that you successfully guessed that my word was tree. That's quite impressive. But let's take a step back. The word tree can be used to describe many different things. The tree that I thought of, was it deciduous? What color were the leaves? Does it use fruit to reproduce, or something else a little more creative? The closer you look at something, the more you can break it down into smaller and smaller categories. A family tree, if you will. The process of breaking large and diverse sets of subjects into smaller, more manageable clusters is known as taxonomy. Oftentimes when trying to understand how something works, it helps to take a step back and observe from afar. Since taxonomy is a somewhat abstract system, we'll be taking a more abstract approach to understanding it. I would like to introduce you to the class Aquapainid, otherwise known by its common name, plastic bread tie.
Charlie, where are you? Mom!
Hey, your friend Samuel's here. Is he staying for dinner or what?
He's my boyfriend, and no, it's date night. How's the new design coming?
You're gonna love this one. What's going on?
I have to tell you something.
Okay.
I want to try drag.
That's it? Thank God. I thought you were gonna tell me your mom wanted me to fix her dress again. I design shoes, I'm not a tailor.
You know she just thinks you can do that because you're gay, right?
I know.
Really though, what do you think?
Well, I have always wanted to see you in a dress.
I was wondering if you could help me.
You're gonna need some big heels.
Hey. The hell are you doing?
Nothing, I was just messing around.
You're already gay. Isn't that enough?
Enough?
Yeah, why do you have to keep doing all this other shit?
I'm proud of who I am.
You don't even know what it means to be proud, dude. I've tried so hard to be understanding of your decisions.
It's not a decision.
Okay, yeah, bullshit. What about Samuel?
What about Samuel?
What does he think about all this? Does he know you want to be a woman now too?
I don't want to be a woman. I'm still a man who loves men. I just want to dress like a woman. It's a character. It's just fun. And yes, Samuel knows about it. He's helping me with my shoes.
Mom and Dad are barely getting to a place where they can accept that you're gay. Why do you have to keep pissing them off?
Maybe it's not about Mom and Dad. You ever think about that? Samuel Powell.
Babe, you look great.
Thank you.
There they are.
They're amazing.
How are you feeling?
I'm nervous.
Yeah?
Yeah, but I'm excited.
You're gonna be awesome.
Thank you.
You almost ready?
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to see you out there.
Oh my god, I just went shopping today and I found these beautiful pair of shoes. And you know what? The bill doesn't look too bad either. Gave him my phone number. We'll see how it plays out, who knows. But I think I'm gonna be a little bit more for him to handle. Alright my lovelies, I'm really tired of dragging this out, so is everybody ready for some more reaction? Tonight you're in for a real treat, but let me tell you, I wouldn't let her have my chance. But you just might. So presenting Miss Sherry Tom.
Free your body and your mind. One, two, three.
Dirty rotten, who big? Piece of shit.
Y'all ready to turn it up tonight?
Oh, I didn't see that. Welcome to Cherry Top's beauty tutorial.
If you really wanna fly, lift your hands in the air, let the music
Can't stand you.
Can I